Hello, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe before we move on. We're actually going to go ahead and we're going to talk about Logan Paul's Prime Energy drink today. It looks as Senator Schumer has called for FDA investigation into Prime Energy drink. It says Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer called for Food and Drug Administration to investigate Prime, an energy drink brand founded by popular influencer Logan Paul and KSI. Senator Schumer wants the FDA to look into the drink's caffeine content. Apparently, the caffeine content is fairly high, and at the levels that it is, can actually cause some damage. Is the concern? And the market that it's actually marketed towards, apparently, the way they're actually trying to spin it is that it's actually more centric around kids, part uh, targeting kids with ads for something that shouldn't drink or shouldn't have. Can be dangerous in itself. It seems as though is the the ads that are out there, as I look through them to actually see what was out there, it really seriously they market their energy drink right alongside their water product, their hydration water that has zero caffeine. It seems kind of difficult to actually understand why they would actually market it the way they would. Maybe they'll actually think about that and actually start marketing it as slightly different. It says Prime launched in 2022 and quickly exploded the popularity among the duo's millions of followers, the majority of whom are children. The launch prompted long lines of grocery stores, reports of schoolyard resale markets. One of the summer's hottest status symbols for kids is not an outfit or a toy, it's a beverage, Schumer said in the news conference on Sunday, July 9th. But buyer and parents beware, because it's a serious health concern for the kids and the feverishly targets. It is health concern. It's even a health concern to adults. Don't take this light, like it's okay for adults to actually go ahead and consume the massive amounts of caffeine, the synthetic caffeines that are used to make such products like these. Synthetic caffeines, they're made different. The chloroacidic acids um, that are extracted are totally different than the extractions from the plant. It's the extractions from the plant for like coffees and stuff are actually in low dose actually good for you. And when I say low dose, they're like 4 cups of coffee, which is equivalent to like a couple cans of soda or an energy drink, or maybe a couple 5-hour energies at the most. Is what is where they're going with that. And it's kind of marketed like it's okay for caffeine, to be caffeine, no matter what. It's really not. There's a big difference, and it seems that there's an awful lot of people that don't understand that difference between the two, between the naturals and synthetics, because their molecular structure is exactly the same. Being that they're exactly the same, you'd think that you get the same energy out of it or whatever, but you don't. You get the slower intake, output, whatever, from coffees, as opposed to the instant energy boosts that you get from the synthetics. Those instant ones that also give you an instant dramatic crash once it's actually worked its way through your body. Certain amounts you can take up to some 10 hours for it to actually leave your body. And if you're one of those that consumes caffeine all day, every day, you may never actually realize how long it would take for your body to actually clear yourself of those caffeines. There is nothing that you can actually do to actually, you can't drink something or take something else to counteract the caffeine to get it to actually remove itself from your system. It doesn't work that way. It's actually, once it's in your bloodstream, it's in your bloodstream for the period of time it takes for that to actually, dissolve or absorb itself into your system through your bloodstreams. And like I had said, like coffees are actually good for you. So, it's like when it comes down to it, they're actually, improved moods to Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease, depressions and other brain function type things or whatever that would actually it would actually give increases to. This stuff would not do that. This is synthetic energy drinks. Synthetic energy drinks are not necessarily the best. So it continues. It says prime energy drinks contain 200 milligrams per 12 ounces. That's a lot. While the caffeine content of similar energy drinks that are targeted towards adults, pediatricians warn Prime could have negative health impacts on young children, such as heart problems and anxiety and digestive issues. The heart problems, because you're going to get an increased heart rate. You're going to get, it's going to increase that synthetic increases, a lot of uh, a lot of different things in your body other than just the heart rate. You're going to actually feel some other blood pressures and other things that will actually come along with synthetics. Synthetics are really not the best for you for what they're actually pushing. I kind of down for what he's actually going for, for the first time. I really, really don't care for Chuck Schumer when it comes down to it. But if he wants to go ahead, he wants to call something out. I say go for it. Go ahead, call out caffeine, the synthetic caffeines for what it is. It is not good or healthy for your body. And for anybody to think so, really do need to maybe do some research into it and actually look at what synthetic caffeine can actually do to your body and why it's not good for you. As physicians are concerned, the strength of the amount of caffeine in those drinks can give children and teens headaches. It can give them jitters, nervousness, and interfere with sleep cycles, which is important for developing brains. This is Dr. Edith Bracco Sanchez, a pediatrician at New York Presbyterian Columbia University Irvine Medical Center, said Sunday, "We've seen it happen before that when these products are marketed and advertised in this flashy, cool way through influencers and celebrities, the first audience that is listening, that is ready to purchase in whatever way they can purchase, are kids." Prime representatives have defended the drink, saying it is clearly labeled not recommended for children under 18. So, they do have a label on their energy drink. They actually kind of say that it's, marketed right alongside the hydration product or whatever. So he says the company also makes a separate sports drink known as the Prime Hydration, which contains no caffeine. So when they market it right next to it, it looks as though the hydration are in bottles, screw top bottles, whereas the caffeine is actually in aluminum cans, aluminum pop top cans. So when it comes down to it, there is a slight difference. You should be able to actually tell parents if you're out there and you're actually wondering if you should be feeding your kids anything like this. Always do the research and know what you're feeding your kids. Don't just give them something because you're like, oh, it's okay. I've used it for years. Not necessarily is it good for kids to actually consume the same thing as adults. Says this, however, Schumer claimed that little noticeable difference in online marketing in the two drinks. He said it has led to many parents believing that the purchase of juice for their kids only to wind up with a cauldron of caffeine. Again, why aren't you looking at the cans? Why aren't you reading what's on the? Do you not read labels before you eat things? Have we actually gone to the point where we've actually don't question any of that any longer? We just go ahead and we just whatever it is, go eat it, consume it. It's all healthy. It's all good. I really seriously question people's thought process when it comes to what they're actually consuming. Now, am I the best person at consuming things? Yeah, absolutely not. I do enjoy my Gatorade. I should probably move a little bit more than I do when I drink the Gatorade, but at the same time, I'm active enough. I'm active enough where I'm not sitting here bloated over too overweight. I am slightly overweight because I'm a 46-year-old man. When it comes down to it, age really kind of plays a factor. Not that I can't take care of myself better, but everybody else also can take care of themselves better as well, in their ripe old ages, as we actually encroach these later years of our lives. It's really something to actually see how this particular instance that Chucky Schumer just so happens to have an issue with is only centered around pointing it at one particular brand. Why he isn't pointing it at other brands, other marketing schemes that also do the same thing. They market their caffeines and their sugars towards kids. It's never really been an adult, thing where they have actually shiny, flashy, uh, cool looking items or whatever. Always entice almost anybody. Doesn't matter which age you are. A simple search on social media and Prime will generate an eye-popping amount of sponsored content, which is advertising. He wrote in his letter to the FDA about energy drink. This content and the claim made should be investigated along with the ingredients and the caffeine content in the Prime energy drink. Again, I'm with you, Chucky. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go ahead. Let's look at the ingredients and caffeine content of every single drink that's out there. If we're gonna start pointing fingers at somebody, you don't get to point fingers at Logan Paul because us and he has something that you don't like or something that you're not benefiting from. That's the issue. That's the issue, and that's the big part of it right there. For them to actually go ahead and try pushing it the way they are is fine, but you best start opening up that book to almost everybody else at the same time and looking at all of the other ingredients and caffeine contents in almost every single energy drink that's out there, every single soda can, everything, everything. Look at it all. Don't just select one. You do it to one, you do it to all. All that being said, thank you also very, very much for joining me here today. Don't forget to join me again tonight, 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, for an episode of Stick with Cool Frog. It looks like America Shirts will be with me again tonight. Uh, thank you also very much. We'll see you later.